Hi, I'm Alicia from China Admissions. Today, I'm excited to introduce Daria, a USTC MBA graduate, on our China Admissions YouTube channel. Daria will share her journey on how she got accepted into University Science and Technology of China in Hefei. And as you guys know that USDC is part of the C9, the Ivy League of China, and she will share her experiences as an international student while pursuing her Master of Business Administration. And thank you so much for joining me here, Daria.
Yeah, Lisa, yeah, sure. I'm glad to be here.
Before we start, could you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, of course. My name is Daria and I'm from Russia. My educational background is in economics and finance. So firstly, I finished the university back home in Russia, both my bachelor's and master's. And then I just decided to go to more management, marketing, and MBA. So yeah, this is how I ended in MBA and in China, because firstly I went to China 6 years ago as an exchange student and I loved it. I totally loved it. So it's like combination of something that I want to study and somewhere where I want to study.
I see. And why did you choose to study for MBA at the USTC?
I checked the list of the universities, like the ranking, of course. And I think the majority of people do like this. Just open the ranking, see the best universities. And for me, I didn't want to go to Beijing because I already went to get this exchange program. And then I just saw some universities after the universities in Beijing in the top positions and applied to these universities. And USTC was the first university who gave me the positive reply. And I was like, oh, that's great. I don't need to worry anymore. Just accept the offer.
That's great. And could you please share to our audience that step by step for applying for the USTC, especially for MBA?
Yeah, sure, of course. Actually, it was super easy. You just need to follow the deadlines. So the most important thing, not to meet the deadline, to be informed about deadlines in advance. And then they have the website, like the system for application, and you just fill the application. And you don't have to pay application fees, or it's like free of charge. Also very good advantage. And you also don't have to fill special applications for applying for scholarships, because it's just within one website. You just fill everything in the one system. But it was 3 or 4 years ago. I don't know. Maybe some rules have changed. I don't think that they changed dramatically. I think that everything is basically the same. So yeah, you just fill the application within the deadline. Also, before applying, I tried to reach the professors via email just to get this professor supervisor acceptance letter. I think it's not compulsory for MBA. It's compulsory for a PhD, probably. Not for MBA, but just in case. I decided to contact the professors, and I got one acceptance letter, so I also got this. I think this is the advantage. I'm not sure how it's going right now, because I know that some of my classmates, they didn't have it in advance, but I had it in advance. I'm not sure whether now the rules are the same. So anyway, maybe if you want to apply to USTC, it's better try to get this acceptance letter. But if you don't have it, maybe it's not a big problem. So yeah. And after application, we had the interview, and that's basically all.
I see. Okay. What are the requirements? Can you share what kind of profile that USTC MBA is looking for? Are they have any specific eligibility criteria?
Yeah, actually, I don't know the specific requirements. I mean, the profile of a person that the school is looking for, but I just feel if you have a strong motivation to build the business, like to create a business, maybe you have even not economic background, maybe you have another background, but you want to apply your previous backgrounds into business, and you explain it very well in the motivation letter, I think it will be very good, because I think that professors and the staff, they're looking for people who are strongly motivated in business sector, in creating something. If they maybe some of the applicants already run the business, right? So yeah, economics background is not the mandatory requirements for sure. I know, like some of my classmates, they have different educational background, but they are in business or they want to run the business. And as for some like basic requirements, I think the majority of Chinese universities have this, like you need to have the IELTS more than 6 or 6.5, something like this. And if you have the English speaking program, right? And like when you apply, you need to have this kind of medical form. Some of the basic rules that are applicable to all the universities in China. But if we talk about USTC, I think they're looking for someone who is motivating in business. Yeah.
I see. Are they need to submit GRE or GMAT?
No. They don't. They don't need it. They don't need it for sure. I know that some of the people also pass exams. I don't know why. Maybe they look at the transcript of records of your previous university, and maybe if you have enough credits in some of the disciplines, it's okay not to have the exam. Because for me, I had both bachelor and master degrees, so I had a lot of disciplines. I had a lot of credits before. So for me, I didn't have exams. But I know that there are some cases.
Okay. Like, how about the minimum GPA requirement?
I think there was no requirement.
Okay.
I didn't see it when I applied. Again, maybe now the rules are different, but when I applied, I didn't see the requirement for it.
Okay. How about like, are they need to have like working experience before when they want to apply for the USTC program, like especially for MBA?
For MBA, just like typical MBA program that is popular. For international students, we don't have this requirement. For Chinese students, they do have.
Okay, so for international students, like that's okay if you don't have like working experience.
Yeah, exactly. I know that there are also some kind of super professional MBA programs. Maybe they do have, but just the normal MBA program that is popular among international students, they don't have. But for international students, for Chinese students, they have to. Yeah.
I see. Okay. So maybe can you recap, like, are there any specific documents that we need to submit, like, if we want to apply?
Yeah, just basic package of document that is like considered to be the package of documents on all the universities. As for specific documents, I told you, like, I had this medical checkup form. I had like this non-criminal record certificate. And in my case, I had the acceptance letter from supervisor in terms of some specific documents. And as for the others, everything is the same.
And then how about the interview selection process? Can you share with us, like, how is it?
At first, they also had this, like, interview trial to identify whether there are some technical programs. So it's like I had the interview before interview just to check whether technical connection works fine. This is something that was quite unexpected, like something that I faced in the first time, because for the other university, they just have interview and that's all, but they try to put more attention on technical issues. So yeah, first interview, it was not the interview, but just technical interview. And the second interview, it was the interview with the professors from the School of Management, from the MBA department. And it was really, I felt they were so friendly, they were so friendly. And they wanted to ask you about your background, about what you're doing, about what you were doing, about what you want to do. And also they were interested in you as a person, like, okay, what do you like to do maybe in your free time? Maybe have some hobbies. So it was really friendly. It's not like you're going to the job and have this really intense interview. Yeah. It was quite a pleasant experience. But, it was COVID time, so back to my country, it was probably 4 a.m. or something like that.
Oh my god!
But anyway, it's okay. Yeah. I think they have the interview probably for 3 hours for all of the students, for all the batch of the students.
Oh, okay.
So you just are waiting in line.
I see. For how long the duration for each student?
Maybe around 20 minutes or so.
Okay. I'm curious about your student life experience. Can you share how is that?
This is my favorite topic. This is my favorite topic. Yeah, of course. Student life at USTC is like amazing. I think not all the students probably know it. But for me, I had some Chinese friends, and of course, Chinese people, they know better what is happening inside the university, what activity they have, what clubs they have, and there are more than 100 clubs at USTC. The clubs are made for interest, right? So some people like to dance, some people like to sing, some people like sports, watching movies, different cultures, Japanese culture, and there are so many clubs. They also have the hiking club, and they organize different events to hike to the mountains, to go to different provinces, to different cities. So actually, student life is amazing. And as for me, I like music, and I remember when I tried to find something in music, I just went to the 7th floor of the Student Activity Center, and I felt like I'm at the musical university. Like, there are so many sounds, violin, drums, someone is playing in the orchestra, someone is singing, and I was like, is it the university for science or art? It was really, really neat, because people try to focus not only on studying but also on the development of like themselves. This is really cool, because you can't just focus on study, because I think you can become crazy if you just studying and sitting in the library and doing the research. But if you have something to do a part, it will just make your life better.
Yeah, with some fun activities that also will improve our self-development, right?
Yeah, exactly. There are a lot of opportunities to take part in the concerts, like to sing, to dance, some kind of drama clubs. There are a lot, and it's amazing.
So what's your best experience so far? I mean, like, as international students at the USTC?
I think that one of the best experiences, like, connected with my hobbies. Just recently, I went to the stadium to sing on the concert, and it was so good. Like, the stadium is so big. There were so many people. There were so many students, and the students, they were so supportive. Oh my gosh! And the school, they ran the like dress for you, and everything. So beautiful, and you feel like a star on the stadium stage, and everyone is so supportive. I just loved it. I just loved it. Yeah.
I see. And maybe can you give some tips and tricks for people around the world who want to study at the USTC?
Some tricks and tips. I think if you really want to have this like bright and diverse life, you need to be yourself and be pretty active.
Okay.
Not to be afraid of writing something really cool in your motivation letter or saying something really meaningful during the interview, and just try to be yourself, because as you see, I think people, they feel the intentions of others, right? And it's not very difficult, so just not to stress and be yourself, I think. Yeah. And for MBA, one of the best features of this program is like you don't have to publish a paper. You don't have to publish a paper. That is why you have plenty of time for everything that you want to do. You can do the research, of course. You can write a paper, and you also have time to like do your favorite things, like your hobbies. For me, I also resume dancing. Like I would never imagine that after I quitted dancing 10 years ago, I would come back. Never. But at USTC, I was just walking around the classes and I saw a girl dancing, and I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful. And I just asked her, and she's like, oh, yeah, of course you can join us, blah, blah, blah. So you have time for this. You have time for learning Chinese too. So for MBA, there is a requirement of HSK 3. You need to pass HSK 3 before you graduate. But if you have like HSK 3 level, you can learn HSK 4 organized by ISO, and then you can learn HSK 5 too. So you can also improve your Chinese language. So yeah, because there is no such a pressure of publishing a paper. You feel free to do other things too at the same time with your study. So I think
before you apply, when you want to apply, there is Chinese requirement language or not?
No. Before you apply for graduation degree, like in the end of the study, before you apply to the program, and if it's English speaking program, you just need to have IELTS or something like this for your English proficiency level, but not for Chinese. And MBA is the English speaking program.
I see. And okay, last question. Why should people study at the USTC?
I think because of the university. Because the university is good. Like campus is amazing. Campus has a lot of facilities. Sports facilities, swimming pool, a lot of libraries. If you are really into the science, into the study process, you can spend a lot of time inside the library. You have everything for studying. And if you want to make your life like not so focusing on study, you can do a lot of different things too. I mean, in terms of the students club, pursue your interests, like show yourself, show your talents. So the best reason is the university itself.
I see. Thank you so much, Daria, for your time, for joining us.
I'm glad to share my experience too.
Okay, guys, if you want to know more about how to apply to your dream university in China, please visit our platform at chinaadmissions.com, and see you in our next video. Bye-bye.